Hello, holistic hikers. So today I'm going to be providing a tour of the Myra Falls Trail in Strathcona Provincial Park, Vancouver Island. Strathcona Provincial Park is almost like the island's Banff National Park. That's how I kind of think of it. It's the mountain park in the center north of the island, and there's some great hiking trails in here. So we're going to be touring a couple trails here today. First, going to Upper Myra Falls. I think this environment's going to provide some interesting nature that might be a little different than what I'm used to. We're about 350 meters above sea level right now, and we're going to be continuing to climb to get to those falls. So we might see different plants and different species than what I've seen so far this year. And I'll point out some interesting plants and animals that we see along the way. Things are pretty wet here right now, so hopefully the waterfall will make for a spectacular sight. Come along with me, let's see some cool nature on a beautiful hike. The Myra Falls is about a 75 to 90 minute drive from Campbell River via Highway 28 before turning at Butyl Lake. To access Upper Myra Falls, you pass the mine site and there's a parking area on your right, and then you get to the trailhead from an access road to the west. So we are here and we're gonna follow Myra Creek to Myra Falls. So Myra Falls, there's actually a mine site here, so you've got to drive through this crazy industrial site to get to the trail. Starting out, you follow this access road. Here's a big old pile of bear poop. At the start of the trail, there's some massive cedars, which are always cool to see. So after maybe 500 meters on this road, we're at the trailhead to Upper Myra Falls. Follows Myra Creek, which is down in the valley below, and it's just surrounded by these giant cedars, which are gorgeous. Gnarly tree fall on this trail. Here's some Cascade Oregon grape in bloom. Some really cool boulders on this trail. So continuing to encounter this big deadfall on the trail, but did it make any sound? We had some bad windstorms in the winter, so maybe that's when these guys came down, but I certainly wouldn't want to be around when that happened. Always a cool species to see, Western maidenhair fern, which has this palmate hand-like leaf arrangement. They're just growing at the bottom of this boulder. More giant moss-covered boulders. This is one of my favorite plants here on Vancouver Island, is Devil's Club. It's this weird spiky shrub. Devil's Club does look a little evil, like something you might see in the Upside Down. It is covered in thorns. The only parts of the plant that do not have thorns are its berries and roots, so you don't really want to crash into one of these plants. One of the birds we've been hearing is Swainson's thrush, which here on Vancouver Island at this time of year are locally abundant, but they are one of the most secretive and wary birds that I encounter here. It's often difficult to get a shot before they flush off into the undergrowth. They like dense undergrowth and bushes, and often it's hard to get a direct visual. One interesting thing about them is they are only here for a few months. It's really only about 60 to 90 days that they are here breeding. So I find that just really incredible how short of a time period they are here. So I'm always after bird lifers, but behind me is a tree lifer that is Pacific yew, which is a smaller coniferous tree species. I've actually been on the lookout for them. Their needles look a little bit like Douglas fir, but they're very straight on the axis of the stem, and they have this interesting pattern of bark, kind of this red mottled bark, which is quite diagnostic and unique. Pretty interesting tree here. Some licorice fern growing out of this mossy boulder. If you sample the roots of them, it does taste like licorice a little bit. Some giant firs here. Cool boardwalk here. Always a cool species, Calypso orchid. I love wild orchids. Pretty big mushy here. And here we are at Myra Falls. Pretty great view. Wasn't too difficult of a hike. I'd say moderate, light. A family of all ages could definitely do this. The nature was really cool along the way. I was listening for birds, didn't hear too much, kind of the regular forest songbirds, Pacific wren, chestnut-backed chickadee, American robin. We did hear a varied thrush, which have disappeared at lower elevations. I did manage to get a shot of this adorable chickadee begging its parent for food. we're gonna have some almonds and enjoy ourselves here for a few minutes, and then before headed back to the car and maybe do another hike. So our next stop, we're here to check out Lower Myra Falls, which is the same watercourse as we saw before. Don't fall in the waterfall. So here we are at Lower Myra Falls, and these falls are pretty impressive. They're pretty big. So Lower Myra Falls is pretty impressive. So I guess it formed due to a tectonic shift in a fault, and you can definitely see in the rock where there's kind of a shift. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. It's a great day hike and a great option if you're looking for a day trip into Strathcona Park from Campbell River. This is a really cool area and one I hope we explore a bit more. Until next time, happy hiking.